If your VMAX were to fall over, there are parts of the engine casing that would take on the brunt of that impact. And you can get an idea of what those areas are by looking at your engine and finding out which areas stick out the most. On the right side of the bike, it's going to be the water pump cover. On the left side of the bike, it's going to be the generator cover. And you can install engine sliders to protect those two areas of the engine. And in this video, I am going to show you exactly how easy it is to install those engine sliders yourself. As you can see, there's not much required to do this job. A 5mm hex head socket, which I have attached to a 3/8 drive ratchet, a torque wrench, and the engine slider kit. Let's just see what comes with the kit. Instructions. There's the hardware, and it has some spacers. One of the sliders, and the other slider. Let's open them up. All right, there's a look at what they look like. I can tell just by handling them and feeling them that one is larger than the other. That is true. All right, well, let's go put them on. As I mentioned a minute ago, I could clearly tell that one slider is larger than the other. And as we just walked around the bike, it's easy to tell which side is which. The generator is clearly larger than the water pump. So when looking at the instructions, the left-hand side is for the generator, which is the larger of the two, and the right-hand side is for the water pump cover. And also when looking at the instructions, you have to make note of the length of the bolts and the length of the collars, because the longer bolts go on the right side for the water pump cover, and also the longer collars go on the right side for the water pump cover. So if you take the slider, you can just kind of line it up so you'll get an idea of which 3 bolts you need to remove. So there they are, basically the 3 bottom bolts. So let's go ahead and remove those. Okay, now that those are out, we can go ahead and grab the hardware for the slider, and we can put the bolts through. And then on the other side, we will insert the collars. Now we will just line everything up. Set it in place. Go ahead and hand tighten everything down. All right, I'll grab the socket, tighten them down, try and do it evenly. Okay, now that they're all flush and pretty tight, we'll go ahead and use the torque wrench, which for this side is 7.2 foot-pounds, and I already have it set. So I'll go ahead and tighten it down to the torque spec. And as you can see, that's not much. 7.2 foot-pounds is not a lot. Just double check the first one. All right, good to go. That's it. Now we will move on to the other side. And just to be certain, we'll just line this up to get an idea of where it's supposed to go. So again, we know it's the bottom 3 bolts. So we will start by removing those. Again, just to be certain, according to the instructions, and by process of elimination, the only thing left are the shorter bolts and the shorter collars. So we will insert those. There are the 3 bolts. Now we will insert the collars. All right, now we will line everything up. All right, well, we'll go ahead and torque everything down to where it's kind of flush. Okay, it's somewhat snug. We will go ahead and put the torque wrench on there. And on this one, it's slightly higher. This one is 8.7 foot-pounds. So once again, I already have the torque wrench set. And again, 8.7 is not much. So that's why it's always important to use a torque wrench. Most people would have a tendency to over-tighten everything. And that's it, all done. Okay, here's a look at the finished product. You're looking at the left side right now. Take you over to the right side. The lighting is a little bit better over here. See what it looks like from this angle. And as you can tell, the sliders are not matte black, but I think they do a pretty good job of blending in anyway. So that's one reason why I chose them. So I didn't really want anything to be all that noticeable. So I'm pretty happy with the way these look. And like I mentioned before, this is a very easy job that you can do yourself. This is even easier than doing an oil change. If this video helped you, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to my channel. See you next time.